We're James and Amy, and back in October 2022, we quit our jobs to travel full-time.
That is the view we climbed all the way up here for.
We've been backpacking Thailand for almost 3 weeks, and our time here has been filled with unique experiences.
We've just taken shelter from the rain in this hut that we were passing.
After spending the last week learning to scuba dive in Koh Tao, we've now arrived in Khao Sok National Park. In this episode, we'll be spending 2 days on the stunning Cheow Lan Lake and staying in some very unique accommodation.
So this is our home for tonight.
We've left Koh Tao and we're now in Khao Sok National Park in the Surat Thani province, and the reason people come here is for this. This is Cheow Lan Lake. It's described as Thailand's Ha Long Bay, but unlike Ha Long Bay, this is completely man-made. Back in the 80s, the government decided to flood this entire area, including a few villages, in order to construct a dam, and it turned the surrounding mountains into these floating islands. It's quite a mission to get to. It took about 2.5 hours to get to the national park from Surat Thani, and then an additional hour from there to get to the lake, which is probably why it's less visited than other parts of Thailand. But I'm so excited to be here. We're doing an overnight tour on the lake, and we're going to be staying in some really unique accommodation.
We've just arrived at Cheow Lan Lake and paid a couple of fees on top of our ticket price. So we had to pay a national park entry fee, which was 200 baht per person, and a pier maintenance fee, which was 20 baht per person. And that's on top of the ticket prices that we've already paid for our tour. And apparently that applies to any tour we book. These are always on top.
We boarded our long-tail boat and started motoring across the lake to our accommodation. The picturesque journey took us deeper into the national park, passing towering limestone islands that were once mountains. After almost an hour, we arrived at our floating bungalows, where we'd be spending the night.
We've just picked up our key and now we're walking down to our bungalow. We are right down at the end. So this is our home for tonight. Here we go. Oh. 2 double beds for some reason. And we've got a toilet, that's good. So this is our floating home for tonight. And this is our view. A bit cloudy at the moment, but still pretty nice.
Oh, it's nice.
We just had our lunch and Amy went for a swim in the lake and it has just started pouring with rain. We've got an evening boat trip planned, so hopefully this clears up by then. It's pretty rainy. So I thought I would do a very quick tour of our floating bungalow, and it is going to be very quick because it's pretty small. So we've got 2 beds here for some reason. We've got a charging socket with USB, which is pretty good. I know that some of the bungalows have no power, you're sleeping on the floor, it's very basic, so it's quite nice that we've got power, we've got beds, we've got a bathroom here as well with a shower. But the main reason why you stay here is for these views. So on one side we've got a view out across the lake, and then on the other we're very close up to the water's edge, so you really get a sense that you're floating on the lake. That is how close we are to the water. So another thing you can do here is hire kayaks to take out onto the lake. So we just come out for a paddle before dinner.
It's so nice and calm now, the rain has stopped. I think we're going to do the loop around these bungalows. It's Amy's turn to have a paddle. It's weird to think that underneath this lake is former villages that have just been flooded. Apparently you used to be able to dive down to see them, but they don't do that anymore. Let's go back.
Incoming! Hello, house.
Right, we're back at our bungalow, and now we're going to get dried off and then go for a beer before heading out on our evening boat ride. Just seen some monkeys up in this tree up here, but they're pretty far away. Just spotted some more monkeys in this tree up here, jumping from branch to branch across. Okay, we just got back from our boat tour. We didn't see a huge amount of wildlife, but we did see some monkeys from a distance jumping across from tree to tree, which was really cool. Apparently they do have elephants here. Our guide said he saw one 5 days ago, but sightings are super rare, especially in this area where we are. A lot of the elephants live further up into the mountains. But it was still really cool to see the monkeys, and we also saw a buffalo as well. It's now almost 7 o'clock, so we're going to head into the common area and have dinner. Good morning. I slept surprisingly well in here last night. It's so quiet and peaceful out here, and these bungalows do rock a little bit on the water, but not enough to make you motion sick or anything. It kind of just gently rocks you to sleep. So I ended up having a pretty good sleep. But yeah, it's now 6:30, so we're up pretty early because we're going to go out on another boat tour this morning and hopefully see some more wildlife. Just got back from our morning boat tour and we saw quite a bit more wildlife than we saw yesterday. We managed to see more monkeys, but they were pretty far away and they moved so quickly I couldn't really film any of them. And we saw 3 hornbills, which are kind of like toucans, so that was really cool to see. In about half an hour we're going to be heading out to do a jungle trek up to a sticky waterfall. So we're just going to pack our bags now and check out of our floating bungalows, and then we're going to head off on a boat to the start of the hike. So we've just dropped the boats down there. Now we're walking about 1.5 kilometers up to the waterfall. Because this water has a lot of limestone in it, the floor is actually quite sticky. That's why we call it a sticky waterfall. But it means that you don't slip off the wet rocks. Your shoes have a weird amount of traction. It's pretty cool.
It's so cool that you don't fall off. I wish more rock was like this. Bit wet.
So during the dry season, this part of the tour would be replaced with a visit to a cave. But because it's the wet season now, it's too dangerous to access the cave. Apparently, it's quite similar to the cave where the Thai soccer team got trapped. So they've now closed it off to all visitors during the wet season. And for this tour, they've replaced it with this waterfall hike. We've had quite a lot of rain over the last few days, so I can imagine the cave being pretty treacherous right now. Okay, we made it to the top of the waterfall, and now we're looping around and dropping back down to the boats. So the advice in terms of footwear for this hike was don't wear flip-flops, either wear your own hiking shoes or borrow some rubber shoes from them. My advice, either wear sandals like these or borrow their shoes, otherwise your shoes are going to get very wet. Everyone who has worn their own hiking shoes regrets it. Made it back to the boats. Oh, almost didn't. So that is the end of our time on Cheow Lan Lake. We both had a great time on this overnight tour. The views were incredible, and going to sleep to the sound of the water and waking up to these stunning views of the lake from our bungalow was a really unique experience. We booked this tour with Smiley Lake Houses, which is a company based in Khao Sok that also own these bungalows. It was quite reasonably priced, and the tour included all of our meals for the whole time we were there, and all the activities as well. We're now leaving Khao Sok and heading to our next location, Koh Phi Phi, to experience a little bit more island life. So I really hope you've enjoyed watching this video from Khao Sok. If you did, give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. And I will see you in the next one. Goodbye. So this is the new and improved Maya Bay. It's so much nicer than last time I was here. Massive shark. We're now in Ao Nang, and today we're going to be going rock climbing. Here from the top.